Are you on the park board? Okay, any other audience comments? Going once, going twice. So, unless there's anybody who has been left with a mayor's report, I certainly don't have anything to give in her absence. No? Okay, finance.
Good evening. Okay, the current finance project is still ongoing. Obviously, the budget for 2014. Still have a few changes to make regarding salaries and wages, benefits, interfund transfers possibly, equipment replacement upgrades. I'm still talking with a couple department heads about those. And obviously, I'm going to add in a table of contents because this thing is kind of growing out of control. And I promise when we get the new software, it'll be a lot smaller because we won't be receiving all of ours, so it's just roll up to the departments. And of course, tonight we have a hearing for the citizens, so there might be some additions from citizens or council. And we have one more workshop for the budget as well. Let's see, the annual report is, we're getting closer to finishing it. It's been a real bear because of Springbrook getting to reconcile. And I spoke with the state auditors today. They will be out here on December 9th to start the audit for 2012. Finance Committee, we didn't meet last week. The council really wants us to meet regarding Mark Bounds, and that's the $715 stormwater audit that showed he owed because he was never charged for a number of years. And so we need to discuss that. Because he came here and spoke with you guys, wanting to get relief from that. And still holding on to that. And that's it. Any questions?
The status of the transition to
Bias?
Bias.
The last time I spoke to them, which was last week, they said they would have something for me this Wednesday to try out the financial software part of it, which means the reporting part.
With our data or just?
With our data.
Wow, okay.
And so it's going to be 12 and 13, but I'm most interested in 13 because I think I've gotten 12 tied down pretty well. So yeah, it should be. And then as we get into December, they're going to start doing online training, and they'll be out here the first week of January to actually do live training for utilities. So it's going to happen over the next 35 days. So that'll be great.
Next question?
Yeah. When do you have your next finance meeting?
Good question. Josh or Gary, can we have it tomorrow night, or are you guys busy? So this week is that, I mean, then we have next week. Next week's the last meeting before the budget goes to approval.
Other evenings would work for you, other evenings?
Oh, how about Thursday?
Whenever, yeah.
I don't have to be there, so Thursday works for me.
So if you can't meet tomorrow, then maybe next week on Tuesday.
I'll be gone next week.
Really? Well.
Better meet.
Yeah, we need to get this stuff resolved. Yeah, we can talk about it later after the meeting.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's talk after the meeting.
Okay.
Court?
The Douglas laptop has been received by the city. Our IT has it right now to configure it, and we have sent the reimbursement request to AOC.
Great. Any questions? Public safety.
I don't have any reports, but I have any questions from the council.
I see the local turkey was arrested in South Bend, suspected. Which of the officers?
Good reason. Public Works, Community Development. Welcome back, by the way.
Thank you.
I don't know if you've been back before I got back.
No, I'm not at all. And it's good to be back. So it's nice to be in an upright position for change. A couple things. We were awarded a TIB grant to overlay a portion of 3rd from Chicago to Butte, or Butte to Chicago, whichever way you want to go on that, of $254,100. The city portion of that, or the city match, will be $28,230.
And that's $14 for 2013.
$2014.
And is that budget?
We just received the grant, so we'll make sure it's budgeted. Yes. Just got the notice today, just got it today. Something, just kind of an FYI, we had a property owner on Tacoma Boulevard that hired a contractor to do a sewer repair. When they got into it, a portion of the repair was actually the city's fault, so we had to reimburse the property owner $5,200 for repairing our sewer. Like I said, that's just an FYI. Wanted to make special notice that Bill Brookhart, one of our crew, is the one that built the stand for the plaque in front of the flagpole. And the crew wanted to thank them for the job of putting up the lights that you guys all get to see on Friday. And that's it, unless there's questions.
Any questions?
What was this for you?
Overlay? Third,
Okay.
out front here.
Community Senior Youth Services.
Well, I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. We are having the tree lighting, of course, on Friday. We are going to have the fundraiser for the senior center during that time. Thanks to Katie and Stacy for coming on Saturday and making cookies. It was great fun. I really enjoyed it. So come all and, come and taste our cookies. They were just great. We didn't taste any, though.
I didn't.
Stacy,
I
did you have
didn't.
any? Okay. So the senior center and the gym is in need of volunteers. The senior center needs it for the front desk help. Joanne needs help with really great things like cleaning, mopping the gym floor, that type of thing. We have a cookie exchange at the senior center December 16th, which is a Monday, at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So far they have as many people that whoever would like to come, we need 6 dozen cookies. I'm not going, Katie, are you going? And that's all that I have. Is there any questions?
Any questions?
You need somebody to make 6 dozen cookies?
No, if somebody wants to come to the cookie exchange, they should bring 6 dozen cookies.
I can make sure we're gonna make more cookies.
No, I'm good.
I'll get Stacy to help.
Any other cookie
Any other
questions?
questions? Thank you.
Thank you. City Council report.
Each year, the Tacoma Pierce County DUI Victims Information Panel, in conjunction with the law enforcement agencies in Pierce County, holds a recognition dinner to recognize those officers that have been instrumental in getting impaired drivers off the street. This year's officer from Pacific that was recognized was Josh Hong. Unfortunately, he and the chief were called out with the Coalition of Small Cities because of the shooting. And Josh is on Major Crimes Task Force, and Chief was in command capacity, and they were called out of town. They were unable to be present. It was my honor to accept the award in Officer Hong's behalf. At this time, I would like to present it to the Chief because, once again, Officer Hong got called out. Please extend our gratitude to Josh for all of his hard work in getting impaired drivers off the road.
Any other council reports?
I have one, just, Leanna brought up today, and David brought up here. If you haven't checked your email, there's a letter from the Valley Police Association to the AWC Risk Management Director. As you may or may not know, Leanne's been talking to them about getting back into the risk pool. They have another meeting December 5th. So SDA wrote a very nice letter to kind of encourage them to allow us back into the risk pool. So if you haven't read it yet, it's really nice.
And Rich, the 14 budget uses
This year's
this year's
insurance.
insurance.
Yes, so it would be a significant change if we get into the risk pool. For the better, huh?
Any other council reports? Councilman Carver, you kind of had one.
No, those are there for you.
Seeing none, we'll move on. Boards and committees, park board.
I'd like
We're
to
gonna have
just
three of them.
introduce them before you launch in. And it's a thank you. I want to thank park board members for gathering together on a Saturday morning for several hours to review all the parks in the city of Pacific and talk about the general state of parks and recreation. Some of their handiwork is visible in the conference room where you can see charts that were drawn up, and Kate stayed afterwards and then we made a composite of these. Dwayne Grotz took notes during this event, and they just had incredible input, and I really, really appreciate them. So with that said,
Good evening. As Paula said, we gathered together to talk about our parks and what we would like to see done. So I have a few items to discuss with you tonight. Number one is our security concern about the city parks. If you have driven by 8 feet, you can't see over it, they can't see you. That is a major concern for us. Not only that, it is a concern about the viability of being able to rent the park for the 6 months that it is open. Nobody wants to rent a park that is behind a Berlin Wall, basically. So we have, I'm sorry, what?
Looks like the big yard of the prison.
It does. It looks like the prison, except for Walla Walla has better lighting. I can say that because I'm from Walla Walla, State Penn, 2nd Ave. So we have a concern not only about the security, but also the viability of having any events down there come summer. The second one is our question about liability, because there are many ways to get into that park where you don't have to climb an 8-foot barrier. And I know that 2 or 3 weeks ago, or maybe 4 weeks ago when I was here, there was going to be a letter sent to King County to address that, and I was wondering if we might be able to get a status either this week or next week. So what really came out of our meeting is we have lots of priorities, but we have boiled them down to just 3 priorities. Number one is trash pickup. We have 13 parks. Many of those parks do not receive trash pickup on a regular basis, and so they overfill and it gets all over. So we would like a weekly check and pick up as needed. We'd like to mow the grass and weed control during the growing season. And we would like the structures and on-site amenities to be maintained at a safety level. As many of you know, the stage is nearing the end of its life at the city park, but because we do not think it will be used much, we are not asking to replace the stage at this time. But we have many other parks that have benches that have wood on them, so we would like to suggest, as part of maintenance, to have them shellacked and filed down, where maybe somebody might have tried to burn them, cut them, or otherwise maim our amenities. So, would you like me to ask for the additional money now or during the budget hearing? I'll ask now. Oh, good. So we would like to increase the public work time from a .5 FTE to a .75 FTE. This will allow an additional 560 hours of maintenance on our 13 parks. We would like to increase our planner time from .05 FTE to a .1 FTE. Our planner has been working on getting amenities for the Aspen Lane Park for 6 years, and still, because of her other duties, has not been able to get those things ordered, and it has gone up from being a $5,000 item, now up to a $14,000 item. The last one is we would like to increase professional services budget from $2,500 to $17,500 in order to fund the design and surveys in order to move forward with the projects at Centennial, Strawberry, and West Hill Parks. Now I would like to relinquish my time to my additional Park Board members who are here. Dwayne, he is our newest Park Board member and also the secretary of our Park Board.
So we kind of just picked certain areas we wanted to talk about. Centennial Park around the City Hall here was kind of where I was looking at. Since we're not going to be able to use Pacific Park much, am I hearing for upwards of 10 years?
Yes.
That barrier is going to be there? It would be nice to start planning to do something here. I know this park is not as big, but maybe start doing some master planning. So when we're asking for $17,500, that would be towards starting to do some planning. See what we can do. Start asking, have some meetings where we ask people what they want to do. You want to do a dog park there? I'm not sure you can do a ball field there, but maybe can you do a dog park? Can we locate a skate park? Those kinds of amenities. Plan to put some benches, seating that we can have out there for people to come and have a place to sit and watch their kids play. Maybe get another playground structure. We talked about perhaps moving the playground structure from Pacific Park, but I think after discussion that the cost would be kind of high to try to tear it out and move it. It is an amenity there once we open it up in the summer that people can go there, though it is kind of, I don't know if I had young kids that I'd want them going in there into that park behind the Berlin Wall, as we said, and not have anybody be able to see what's going on in there when I was in there with my children, other than those little driveway openings that we have there. So that's one of the things I'd like to see, is to start to get some money to start doing some planning. I understand that the master planning for this area has not been updated for a number of years. We have some parcels that are not part of the park.
They were not part of the original plan.
Right.
They were purchased just in the
And there's been some talk about putting a maintenance building over there, or maybe a new senior center. So it'd be nice to update the master plan and start to develop a plan for fixing this park up so we can get some use out of it for the citizens. There's a lot of people, I think, that before the Berlin Wall went up started to go up a few years ago, during the winter, the people would still be using Pacific Park for picnics during the weekends, even if it was cooler out. They'd have barbecues and so forth out there. I'm not sure where those people are going now, but if we provide this space, some space here, even though there is limited parking, I think it'd be an improvement for everybody in the city. Thank you.
Does the council have any questions for the Park Board?
Further questions?
Curious as to the amount, do you have a specific proposal in place for that amount of planning, or is that just a ballpark of what you think the planning would cost?
That's a ballpark based on how much it costs to have the wetland delineation, and then it is our best guess. But we will take more.
And that was inclusive of Centennial,
Strawberry,
and West Hill?
and West Hill. The problem with West Hill is that we have a landowner that has put cones up and has said, even though we know that that is the access into the West Hill Park, he will call the cops on anyone who tries to use that access. So we really need a survey, and we need to put the survey markers in order to allow the public to have access to that property. And for Strawberry, it would be the design for a dog park. I'm honest about it. Are there any other questions?
submitted your budget recommendations to the mayor and the finance department?
I have not, because I didn't know how to do that yet.
Might be a good idea. Email probably works best.
Okay, well, I'll come back at, budget hearing time.
Make sure they have the information before then.
Yes, it'll be in their in basket.
Good. Public Works.
I noticed for the meeting that it's down for 6 PM. Is that what you guys want to have, or you still want to have it at 7?
This week actually six would work for me.
Well, it's the 4th.
Oh, the fourth,
Yeah.
then seven, yeah.